what I love about leadership from an academic or from a definition standpoint is getting people to do more than they even see in themselves, right? Because for me, leadership is people. It comes right back around to people. And it's being able to influence, empower, and allow them to do more than what they even see in themselves. So in other words, I didn't say anything about follow me, control over them, or barking out orders or commands or anything like that. That's not leading, right? You lead by example, you lead by caring, you lead by empathy, all those things when you put the people first.
Welcome to the Nicholas Brown Podcast, a podcast talk show about real estate investing, business leadership, and personal development. Each week, we explore current real-life case studies about how to build financial independence through investing in real estate to build your personal portfolio through passive income models, along with interviews from the top business leaders and personal development leaders. Now, here's your host, Nicholas Brown.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this special episode. This is a special episode. I'm going to start off and say, Alexis, this is for you. This is my daughter, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're listening in, ladies and gentlemen, make sure if you're listening in on a podcast, subscribe. If you watch this on YouTube, subscribe. This is special. This is a special episode, what you want to call it, for young ladies, young women, young girls, because you don't never quit what you're doing. Get around like-minded. So I'm going to read this about section. And the title of this about section also is Keep the Respect on That Name. Because I'm going to prove this when I read this. And don't, ladies, young girls and young women, don't never quit. Keep involving like this special guest that I have here. So keep the respect on that name. Sergeant Major retired USMC, hoorah, Robin C. Fortner. Think of these words, ladies and gentlemen: leaps and bounds, evolution and evolved. If you Google the definition of respect, it is a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by, pay attention to these three things: abilities, qualities, or achievements. Now, with the United States Marine Corps, our emblem is eagle, globe, and anchor. By that, our mindset is that we are capable of any way or anywhere you take us. We adjust. So we adapt and overcome. That's what we do. So it's three things. Air is the eagle, land is the globe, or sea is the anchor, by which us Marines are known to improvise in situations. First to go, last to know. That's our motto. Which, with that said, now you should get the point of this type of introduction that is an honor to the Sergeant Major. Respect that name. Sergeant Major retired USMC Robin C. Fortner on the show based on the odds and the evolution that she has evolved, ladies and gentlemen. So girls and ladies, here's an example that change and progress can be done. I'm going to repeat that. Change and progress can be done. So Sergeant Major retired USMC Robin C. Fortner is a senior level executive leader with 30 years of military experience. She has an extensive background in strategic planning, project management, organizational change, policy development, and implementation, as well as military operations. I'm going to plug that. She's an author also, ladies and gentlemen. As a proven leader, team builder, and strategic thinker, Sergeant Major retired USMC Robin C. Fortner has taken her experiences and founded a leadership and management consultation firm. It's called RC Fortner Enterprises LLC. Is a company committed to meeting the specific needs of each client. RC Fortner Enterprises LLC focuses on results. Their mission is to assist individuals or businesses to reach their highest goals through coaching, training, and personal and professional development. As an inspirational speaker, Sergeant Major retired USMC Robin C. Fortner's energetic and connective style will transform any audience to confidently walk in their own purpose. She has spoken to thousands, ladies and gentlemen, leaving an indelible impression with a powerful message. Robin has received several rewards. I'm going to repeat this. I'm going to back. You're going to respect that name. Sergeant Major retired USMC Robin C. Fortner. I'm going to stress this because you don't know. You just don't know. The journey to this, ladies and gentlemen, this is special. She has received several awards for her work, and she has been featured on C-SPAN, appeared in the TV series American Grit, and appeared in the TV movie Simplify. For more information, reach out to Sergeant Major, retired USMC Robin C. Fortner at www.rcfortner. I'm going to spell it RCFORTNER.com. Welcome to the show.
Yo, that was awesome.
Yes,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I am happy to be here. That's first.
Thank you.
I'm honored to be here because you said this was a special episode. So just thinking of me, I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. And so again, I'm just glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you because people always see the after effect of what happened. So you can't judge. You don't know what you endured and went through to get to that, especially in these times. You just recently been out of the service, what, 2 years, 2 or 3 years of the military?
It's a little over a year, October 2020.
Recently. Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, she's going leaps and bounds. She's making it happen though. But what I'm saying, during those 30 years, you had to adapt and overcome and face some things, especially as a woman. Am I correct? So at my time, it's very seldom I would see a sergeant major, a woman sergeant major. So I applaud you. And that's why I say this is a special where you keep going, you keep enduring, because people don't see what you did to get there. You're the pioneer. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah, it's not that many. I was just speaking to somebody earlier. We was talking about why did I stay till 30? So just on that note, just like what you said, because there's not that many of us, I absolutely could have retired at 20 years, but I also felt responsibility and there was a call and to be like, just stay if you can stay, because it's important for women to still be represented at the highest levels on both sides, enlisted and officer. But I had an opportunity to do that. So I wanted to capitalize off that opportunity because we don't always have the opportunity. So I did feel some responsibility. And of course, it's not just about the love of the Marine Corps, but also who's coming behind you.
That's right.
So I felt it important to stay. And so every enlistment, I knew it wasn't about me. It was really about what can I do for the next generation and for the next group of ladies coming behind me, so that their road and their path can be a little more smoother, just like many has done for me without them even realizing, right? I mean, we all are following somebody on this journey, and I just wanted to do my part. So at that part of just enduring, it's just important because there's not that many women sergeant majors. They're just women in the Marine Corps. We're still, I think we're averaging about 9%. I think I came in, it was at
really
7%. But we haven't hit double digits. I'm waiting for the day.
Right.
So is the leadership. So, it's just time. It's just time. We're the only service that has not hit double digits yet. So it's time to get more women into the services and doing their part. But at the end of the day, for my time period, my era, it wasn't that many. So that was important to me.
Really? Wow. What made you become a leader? What made you go to the Marine Corps? What stood out?
Good question. That's also a good question.
And endured so long. So what initially got you?
Nobody really thinks they're going to stay as long as they is. I didn't. I actually thought I would do 2 years and get out. I come from New York City. A little bit about the background is just born and raised by a single mom. Things wasn't always good. We come from humble beginnings. Things wasn't always so easy. So when it was time for me to graduate high school, many people, had parents taking them on college trips and things like that. But we couldn't really do that. So I had to really grow up and be like, okay, well, what's next for me though? Like where am I going? And I knew I was smart. I knew I I knew I had the ability, but not always the opportunities. And there's so many people in that boat.
Right.
They just don't always have the opportunities. So the military became a thought after a while. I just didn't know what branch. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know what branch. But
Okay.
I tell you, it wasn't so much that I thought Marine Corps. It was, I didn't see myself as anything else. Like I couldn't
Right.
see the
Okay.
Army. I didn't. Air Force was like a foreign language, to be honest with you. The Navy threw me off because back then, honestly, they wore bell-bottom jeans. I know that sounds so
Right. That was your
superficial.
style. You're right.
That's so
Right.
superficial, but it was important for a 17, 16-year-old girl, right?
Right.
Like,
Right.
I can't see me in that right now. So, you know, it's
Okay.
something to be said about the Marine Corps uniform or
Right.
just the way we treat each other. And not that
Right.
the others don't, but just my experience was I just started looking at this other branch that I had really honestly didn't know much about.
Okay.
And
Okay.
they took me in. I am still friends with my recruiter to this day. I
Wow.
consider him
Really?
my big brother, and I am still friends with him till
That's
this
awesome.
day. Yeah. And so, you know, it just became that family from the beginning. I didn't know what to expect. I'm gonna be honest, I just did not know what to expect. What
Were you
kept me
fit? Were you fit though? Were you fit? You know what I mean?
I
Because
was,
you gotta be fit. Were you in
yes, yes.
sport?
I was
Okay.
still in shape. I was running
Yeah.
track. I played some basketball, things like
Okay.
that. So the physical part was not a big issue
It
for
was a
me.
breeze. Yeah.
It was that part was simple. We didn't necessarily do a whole lot of upper body back home, but it was more running. It was more like legs and running and speed. I was
Right.
there. So I didn't even realize how physical or how much that was important to the Marine Corps. Again,
Right.
I knew nothing
Right.
about the Marine Corps. I
Okay.
learned it as I went along, but I wasn't afraid to join. And I did come in with a good friend of mine that I went to high school with. So that was
Okay.
helpful because you don't feel by yourself. And we two are still friends to this day. But it's been a journey. It really, really has. And just like you said, just keep going. I credit my mother. Many of us do, right?
Okay.
We all have moms. And there's one thing I did credit her with is that even though I didn't know what I was jumping myself into, she had always instilled in me to do your best, right?
Right.
To don't just take the easy corner or the easy path, and to always do your best. And if
Right.
your name is on it, then you make it the best that you can make it.
That's
And
right.
that's how I felt. I felt like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it, you
That's
know.
right. Right.
And
Right.
everything else just came because I didn't like try to find the gray area or, you know, try to get out of anything. It was like, let me put my best foot forward, and you'll see things will come to fruition. The doors will open because people see that. They see that in you. They see that potential in you, and they're ready to pour into you. So I will always tell people, hey, don't second guess yourself. You know, you
That's
go
right.
forth, but you go forth 100% because you know your capabilities, and you got to look yourself in the mirror. So I always wanted to make her proud, and that was one of my driving forces throughout my career, no matter what it was. Is let's give it all. I signed the papers, I rogged it up. Let's go for it.
How'd you do in boot camp? Because it's a mind game when someone's in your face. Tell you all
Is
that. Did you endure through that? You know what I mean?
absolutely, absolutely. Again, I said I was from
Get
New
the
York
dirt.
City,
Get
right?
the
So
dirt.
I didn't have I honestly didn't go through too much for me personally.
Okay.
It wasn't too much of a mental strain. It was different. It was more of a culture shock for me
Okay.
than
Yeah. Yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
yelling. Like I was able to take chaos and you know, again, I just they didn't break me because when you grow up in the street, sometimes
Mhm.
there's other things that's harder,
Right.
right?
That's right.
So
Right.
so
Right.
I knew I was going to go to sleep at some point, and I knew they were going to feed me at some point. Right? I got to eat, and they're going to send me to bed. So
Right.
everything else in between, I will endure. It will. The sun will shine the next day.
Right.
And I'm not saying everything was easy, but I looked at it, and it's all about your attitude and your mindset, right?
That's right.
It's all about how you approach a situation. It's not so much the situation; it's how you perceive it, how you approach it, how you're able to handle and attack it. And that's
Right.
how I saw it. I saw it as something that I knew it was their job to do. I knew they wanted to weed us out, and I knew I had been through worse things in my life. Right? There were times when it was just been harder. So I will get over this, and I think that builds resiliency up in a person if they know that they already have some type of examples of how to get through it, and so they know that there's something on the other side. And that's where I was in my life. This was a thing, and it was a culture shock deal for me.
Right.
Aside from the fact we're not standing up right now, but I stand almost 6 feet tall.
Okay.
So,
Right. Right.
It takes a drill instructor a lot to truly get it, right? So, but it's still, no matter how tall you are, we were 17, 18 years old. So your mindset is not adultish, right? And anybody can be broken down. But I found a way to again, just to rival that and become a strength for not just me, but for others in the platoon. As much as they leaned on me, I leaned on them as well. And then having a friend, that buddy system that the services have is awesome. Because having a friend there meant a lot. We spoke the same language. We were from the same hood. We understood each other, and we told each other we both are going to make it. So,
but you know how to adjust when you got a boot camp and all. Because was this your first time being out of state, being away from home?
Being away from home,
had to learn to adjust. Because I'm thinking, as soon as you got out of boot camp, you and your best friend, y'all had your own duties, your orders, right? Had to split, so you had to learn to adjust. Which that's the point. That's kind of right now. And I always say preparation determines your destination. You're prepared when you got out. You've done 30 years, and like I said, ladies and gentlemen, she's going leaps and bounds. So everyone goes through their own type of journey, but you have similarities on how you handle that. So how do you handling things now for 12 and less than a year? Your accomplishment. Give some tips. Like I said, this is special for young girls or young women to be. Give them some tips on that. What are you doing to adjust to get better, to get your leaps and bounds, especially because she's in college. She's in college right now. So
yes, Alexis and all those who are listening, again, there's so many tips out there. You can Google all types of tips, and there's leadership tips everywhere. But one thing I like to stress when I talk about leadership is that there's the science of leadership, and then there's the art of leadership.
Okay.
And many times it's the art of leadership that I try to lean on, because I can read all day, but it's that art that gets transferred from one person with experience to another who's learning their own experiences at the same time. But it's those experiences that build you. Okay. And we all have some sort of experiences. So as you're having those experiences, you can't let them go away. You want to learn from them. This is whether they're good or bad. You want to learn from them. And it's the way you get up and move on that's going to strengthen your character.
That's right.
That to me is the biggest piece, not just being able to regurgitate what leadership means. It's actually being able to walk the talk, live that life, and put it all into action in a way that's not just cookie cutter. It has to be specific to what's happening right now. So there's lots of different ways to attack it. I will tell you, there's 3 words that I live by.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to coin that a little bit and maybe push a little bit more agenda. You'll see that in the next coming year or so. But it's CPR.
CPR.
And when I talk to anybody, I talk about having CPR and breathing life into your leadership, breathing life into your journey. And for Alexis, being in college, things like that, away from home, you have a journey. She's not there yet, right? We all not there yet. Me transitioning. There's things I want to do. There's places I want to go. So I'm not quite there yet, but there's a journey. But CPR is my toolbox. And what that stands for is 1, confidence, purpose, and resiliency. And I have found when I stand firm on those 3 letters, those 3 characteristics, no matter what comes my way, I constantly pump those 3 things inside of me from the inside out. And that helps me to keep going. Don't get me wrong. Confident is huge.
That's right.
And we could talk on that. That's a whole segment by itself, right? But just from the gist of it, for the sake of time, I mean, how we see ourselves and how we portray ourselves is how other people will believe in us, right? Like they see us that way. When we walk into a room, when we sit down, when we're doing our studies, whether it's academic with her or I'm starting a new business, right? I have to be confident in myself. Now that don't come just because you're a woman or you're from New York or you're from, no. You got to feed that, right?
Right.
So that's what I mean. That's a whole other conversation, because you have to feed that confidence and you have to build upon your own self-efficacy so that you know that you're capable of accomplishing whatever mission. That's awesome. My confidence. I'm always, that's like a meter for me. Where's my confidence level in whatever it is that I'm doing? And sometimes I'm not sitting here to say that it's always high. That would be unrealistic for anybody. It's not.
Sure.
But you get a little courage underneath that as well, right? So we could talk about that at another time. My P is purpose. You have to understand your purpose and the path that you're taking.
Direction.
And the direction that you want to go.
That's right.
And that takes time. Sometimes that takes time. She may not be there quite yet, right?
Right.
But a purpose, is also something that's evolving. Like my
That's
purpose
right.
as a Marine is different now than my purpose now, right? So you're always constantly evolving your purpose, but understanding your purpose in life, again, this way I'm not going and just around a mulberry bush, or I'm not traveling down roads that's unfruitful. If I know my purpose, I'm going in the direction that's going to bear me the most fruit, right? I know exactly where I'm going. And then my biggest letter is the R. Because no matter how many times you get knocked down, because trials and tribulations will come, they're going to come. It's about how many times you get up, right? So I think Denzel said something, and I'm going to mess up the numbers, but he said something to the effect of like, you fall down 8 times, you get up 9, right?
That's
or
right.
You fall down 9 times, you get up 8,
That's
but
right.
it's also how you get up, right? And how you see
Right.
the adversity that maybe you went through, and then what are you learning from it? So that resiliency internally as a person and professionally, it has kept me going, not only just in the Marine Corps, but even out here now, as I go through the beginning stages of a business. There's of course,
you're adapting and overcoming. That's the mindset. You adapt and overcome. And then you put your own twist on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you hit it on the head though, is mindset though, right?
Right.
That's what I mean by the art. Because I can read all day, adapt and overcome, but to truly get it in your mind, that's when you're feeding your soul from the inside out, and you're not afraid to fall. You're not afraid to try something that might not come out the way you want it. Again, it's getting that mindset wrapped around and attacking each problem from the inside out.
This episode is brought to you by Nicholas Brown, REI.club.
Hello and thanks for watching this brief video. My name is Nicholas Brown. I'm an author and a residential developer here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and we're on target this quarter of redeveloping 5 properties here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And our passive investors, they're just sitting back and relaxing it because they're enjoying receiving the double-digit returns, which is protected, secured, and insured. So if you're a passive investor, or if you have 401k or retirement income or decent credit scores in the 700 and above,
then download our chart for more information at nicholasbrownrei.club/partner, and I'll send you our DFW double-digit returns case study chart. Once again, for more information, go to nicholasbrownrei.club/partner. That's awesome. Okay. Man, I appreciate this time. It went by so fast, but I gotta ask you this question because we need another episode. I want you to come back, seriously.
Absolutely.
Another episode. I appreciate your time. But what is your understanding of leadership? What's leadership to you?
Yeah, again, I think I already touched on it, but what I love about leadership from an academic or from a definition standpoint is getting people to do more than they even see in themselves, right? Because for me, leadership is people. It comes right back around to people, and it's being able to influence, empower, and allow them to do more than what they even see in themselves. So in other words, I didn't say anything about follow me, control over them, or barking out orders or commands or anything like that. That's not leading, right? You lead by example. You lead by caring, you lead by empathy, all those things when you put the people first.
That's
so
right.
For me, when I think of leadership, even in the 30 years, we had rules, right? We had regulations, all those took care of itself. But when I truly found joy in my leadership style is when I was able to genuinely take care of the Marines. And you will find someone who's not even trying to maybe participate, or maybe the one to the left or right or whatever. When I can get them to coalesce with everybody else and join in on that same path, and we're all marching to the same beat, I can look back and be like, okay, we're there, right? Yeah. I didn't have to bark orders. We didn't give anybody NJP, all of those things that, sure, those are resources, don't get me wrong. But I think for me, I always wanted to chisel up my leadership skills by looking at the person first and being able to influence that person to do something that they didn't even want to do themselves or didn't think that they could do themselves. So
That's
in a
awesome.
nutshell, that's the heart of leadership for me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Man,
Good. Thank
there's so
you.
many questions here. So we're gonna wrap this up. We're just about done, ladies and gentlemen. But what's your perspective now? How has leadership changed? For example, what's your style? Is your style still the same since you're out of the military? Now you're out on your own, which you have your own business now,
Right.
correct? What
Right.
has changed? What's your perspective on leadership now these
Yeah.
days?
Good question. I think leadership continues to evolve, right?
Okay.
I think it just absolutely continues to evolve. For one, like when you're younger in the core, you're learning how to lead effectively, right? So there's
Right.
different tools that you're putting in your toolbox, and then you gain a great appreciation of it as you get older and a lot more seasoned. And then when you get out, it's different, right? So for me, opening up my own business, I'm coming at it from a different perspective. I no
Sure.
longer, right? I'm creating the culture now. I'm no
Mm.
longer, although I will always be a Marine, but I'm no longer just in that boat where they told me honor, courage, and commitment. I'm creating the culture. So it's
Right.
even more of a burden, if you will, like the burden of commandership or the burden of entrepreneurship, which is welcomed. Don't get me wrong,
Okay.
but it falls squarely in your wheelhouse, right? You're 100% responsible for everything that happens in your business itself. And for me as well, I go from, leading hundreds and thousands of people
Mm.
to now, I don't have that, right?
Sure.
So I think for a lot of solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, you got to learn how to lead yourself.
Self-discipline. Yeah.
Right? That discipline has to come out, that it's easy to bark, not always easy to employ, right?
Right.
So I
Right.
think for me, the transition piece was I had to internally reflect some of that leadership's tips and things that I expected from other people, and ensure that those things were still in me, and
Okay.
that how I wanted to see the business and how I wanted that to come across to people. And as I hire on people in the next coming years, that they too can be steadfast to that culture. That's all
Okay.
on me now, right? That's all on me.
This episode is brought to you by Nicholas Brown, REI.club.
Hello and thanks for watching this brief video. My name is Nicholas Brown. I'm an author and a residential developer here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and we're on target this quarter of redeveloping 5 properties here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And our passive investors, they're just sitting back and relaxing it because they're enjoying receiving the double-digit returns, which is protected, secured, and insured. So if you're a passive investor, or if you have 401k or retirement income or decent credit scores in the 700 and above,
then download our chart for more information at nicholasbrownrei.club/partner, and I'll send you our DFW double-digit returns case study chart. Once again, for more information, go to nicholasbrownrei.club/partner. That's awesome. You're going to endure. I'm excited to see what happens in the next year.
Yeah.
So that's going to lead to this.
Sure.
What do you have? You're an author now, and what do you have now going on? Because I can't end this. I will not end this episode without finding out what you got going on.
Appreciate that. Again,
Sure.
As an entrepreneur, you already mentioned it earlier. I'm the president and CEO of RC Fortner Enterprise. I'm very proud of that, and
Congratulations.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I took all those leadership skills that we talked about, and I want to continue that into this world here, whether it's corporate world, federal world, but we do a plethora of things. And I want to just talk about the fact that it is customized to the customer. So in other words, nothing is cookie cutter. We really, really stem on the people itself and the art behind leadership. So from consulting on the executive level, from coaching on any level, we do leadership coaching on all levels. And then we just embarked the partnership with the Resilience Building Leader Program.
Okay.
And what that is, I told you about my resiliency, right? So
you're right.
What this CPR. That's right. So from a professional standpoint, RBLP has a leadership program which you can get certified in. So now my business is authorized to go into organizations, and we train people to take those exams.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
The byproduct of that is that you're building up your team, you're building leadership tenets and characteristics, and you're building resiliency amongst your organization, which again can result in a growing and a learning organization as well. So our business, we take pride in actually partnering with them on that. And then on the side note, yes, I love empowerment, right? So wrote one book already. Well, I should say I'm a co-author on that book, but I have a book also, my own book that's in progress right now. Hope to see that by the end of the year. Right. And then I also do speaking engagements. And
what's the name of the book? The listeners, I want the listeners and people watching. So
the book that's out right now is called Possibilities Unlimited. You can look it up on Amazon as well. That's co-authored. I'm one of the co-authors there. The main author is Les Brown and Cheryl. Wow. So I got an opportunity to jump on that, but I am a co-author on that. That's their project. But it's a brilliant idea with Possibilities Unlimited. That's right. It's in line with my culture and my mindset. So I wanted to join that. And then I'm not going to tell you the name of my personal book yet.
Stay tuned. Yeah, I have you on the next episode.
Stay tuned. But that would be an empowerment type book right now. And then looking down the line to do some leadership books and things like that as well. So a lot of things on the plate. I mean, RC Fortner Enterprises my vision for that is so broad. And so in the next coming years, you will see more. But right now, I want to keep it where I can control it.
Right.
If you will. Right. And we are niched down to leadership development. And like I said, the fact that we have partnered with RBLP, that has become now a target program that has come to the forefront as well.
Which they can go to that site, right? What's your website that they can go to?
My website is just that, rcfortnerenterprises.com.
Awesome. And you're also on LinkedIn, right?
On LinkedIn underneath my name.
Just type it in. Respect that name, as I say. So type that in the search bar. Right. I promise you. Type that in. You can go to Facebook.
You're going to find it. Yeah. Facebook is Robin Fortner. Instagram is RC Fortner.
Great.
And I'm on Twitter underneath RC Fortner as well.
Okay. Well, hey.
Thank you for that.
I'm allowed to say Robin. I asked, ladies and gentlemen, I asked before that because I'm going to respect that name because she worked. Yeah. Thank you, Robin, for coming on. I want to see you for another episode. And thanks for making this special episode for my daughter, Alexis, and these women, these young women, young girls who's out there. You know, I appreciate you. So I'm going to put this out there. So thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. And God bless everybody out there. We definitely can do it. My mantra is, let's go. So
that's right. Yeah. That's right. Thank you. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. As I always end, don't condemn, don't complain, because you have a choice to make a change. Have a great day.
Thanks for joining us on the Nicholas Brown Podcast. Make sure to visit our website, www.nickbrowninc.com, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or via RSS, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. If you like this show and you are a new real estate investor, then check out one of Nicholas's free reports called the Wholesale Dominator Report, also located on our website, www.nickbrowninc.com/free reports. Be sure to tune in for our next episode. And remember, don't condemn, don't complain, because you have a choice to make a change. Have a great day.